Wokeness is absolutely killing America right now. Starting with the left, they're trying to cancel, people they don't like, whether that's, comedians, for jokes that they claim are offensive or whatever, or, the the media is controlling, other artists, like the singers and stuff, and, country music, so they're, runs through Nashville, the other music runs through these big companies, and they're telling the artists, what they can and can't perform, what they can and can't say when they're on stage, and when they're all that. And it's getting to the point of a lot of these artists are, especially trying to have to make this tough decision, especially like singers and stuff. Do they follow along with what's going on with media and the wokeness and the current left right now, and just go along with it and just shut their mouths and don't say anything to pursue their dream that they've worked their butts off? Or do they go ahead and try and say this stuff and risk losing everything, losing their jobs, losing their opportunities because they stood up for what they believed in? So it's getting a really tough opportunity, tough choice to make for a lot of these singers. Comedians, like I said, the same way. A lot of them are getting canceled for just simply doing their job, which is telling jokes, making people laugh. A lot of the left, a lot of that comes from, it's kind of socialist policies. They're wanting, socialism, all that. Socialism has never worked anywhere. You can say what you want, but it's never worked anywhere. You look at Venezuela, you look at Cuba, you look at all these countries that are, socialist countries. Socialism is just a first step towards communism, because there is no way to keep, a socialistic economy, from going to that next level, which is, of course, communism. And I know the left's going to say Scandinavian countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden. Those are not socialist economies. They're free market economies. You can ask anybody in those countries. They are free market economies. In fact, I think Norway, Sweden, and Denmark all rank higher on the free economy list than the United States even. Yeah, they have some policies, some like bigger, healthcare and stuff like that, government healthcare and some of that stuff that, is similar to some of the socialist policies. But the economy itself is not socialist. It's not a socialist economy. It is a free market economy. And I know the other argument people make is, roads and utilities, stuff like that, is a socialistic policies right here in the United States. Yeah, it is. I agree. In a way, in a sense. But the economy itself is not socialist. You're going to have, roads. You have to have some infrastructure. You have to have that stuff in order for a country to actually grow, to actually, keep, to function. But that's going to happen regardless. That's not a socialist policy. I mean, you can argue that it's resembles a socialistic policy because it's government controlled. But you also look at what are the areas, or what are the types of businesses or areas, whatever, that seem to have the least amount of that don't work, that function the least amount as well as the others. And it's typically government controlled. You look at the roads. A lot of the roads are not very well, especially around my area. There's a lot of bad roads that need repaired that aren't getting repaired. Government controlled. The government is not a good business. It's never been a good business. It'll never be good at business. That's why people, when they have a free market and you're allowed to actually go, and you're actually allowed to try and go do something for a profit, those are the kind of businesses that will succeed, because they will adapt, they will grow, they will get better to actually improve their products or their services so they can stay in business. Government doesn't have that, and socialist policies, they don't have that. And like I said, that's coming back to the wokeness stems back to that socialistic idea, because you can't have this wokeness, you can't have all that stuff without having this socialistic idea. You can't cancel people because you can't have, because if you're, if you believe in the free market, you believe in the freedom, that's not canceling people because you disagree with them. That's understanding that, hey, I disagree, but I agree that you have that right to say that, or you have that right to do this. And that's the freedom that we need to hold on to right here in America. And it's something that's under attack from the left right now. And I don't think the right is doing nearly enough to fight that. And it's something that really needs, that the right really needs to step up and fight for, because that is an essential part of the American dream. It's an essential part of, being an American. It's an essential part of how this country works and why this country works the way it does. I'm not saying this country's perfect, but it's the best example of what anybody's ever had in history. It's the closest thing that we've ever had in history to the best. It's the best case we've ever had in history for everybody involved. Whether, depending, regardless of race, sex, color, or, whatever, any of that. It's the best case we've ever had in world history. And that's something that we need to fight for. And it's something that we need to keep fighting to improve. I agree. But going to socialistic economy, socialistic policies is not doing that. That's going to make it worse, because then you give the government all the control and you have no freedom to do whatever you want, to do what you want, to make money, to do anything, because the government can tell you what you have to do, and you have to listen because they are in complete control in socialistic policies. And that's what stems back to the wokeness killing America.